And here's part 2 of our talk with Who Wants Bananas on We Need to Talk.
I very vividly remember I was just at like the PlayStation they had mounted up on the end cap and just playing whatever demo disc they had running at the time while they were doing their thing, which really nowadays is kind of irresponsible. They just just like
Nowadays
just
it
go
is.
over here and be alone in the store while a teenager just stares at you from across the room. That actually sounded way worse out loud.
I mean, I used to do that in Toys R Us and in Walmart. We'd go to Walmart or Kmart, and I'd just go to the electronics section and play video games while they shopped. And then
Those
I'd just
were the
same thing.
swing by on the way out.
Those were the worst because somehow they thought the controller directly under the TV 6 feet up was just
Yeah, you're just looking vertical for however long you guys are shopping for.
right. Like, it's not great, and the controller that couldn't move any further than 6 inches away from the wall and this weird rubber thing. I have very vivid memories.
I do too, yeah. Yeah.
So I used to partake of the same kind of thing. And eventually, I don't know what happened. I'm not sure if it's a cultural shift or it's just me getting bad luck. But usually you're fine. You'd play it for a little bit and then you'd go on. But then I had about 3 different occurrences. And, of when I started playing a game, there'd be these mothers with their sons who would come up to me and say, hey, my son wants to play this. Get off it. And they would kick me off the game and just like start getting really aggressive with me.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
You had 3 separate instances of that?
Getting really aggressive.
I just
It
imagine.
happens to me once, okay, whatever. But it's happened to me 3 times, and that's when I just stopped doing that. Like I stopped really wanting to play those games because every time is this, I don't know, this like, oh, my son wants to play this game. Get off.
I just imagine.
You've been on for too long.
I just imagine.
Like, and I wasn't even on it long.
I just got here.
I like to think it's the same mother every time. It just sees you playing and goes, oh, this kid. I want to stomp on his happiness every chance I can. Just shoot you away from this.
Imagine her picking him up and just chucking him into the next aisle. My kid wants to play.
Right into that ball pit.
Oh, yeah. That's like just the stretchy wires that keep
Yeah.
them all in. Yep.
Oh,
That'd actually be pretty cool.
Oh, I'd pay money to see a mom just chuck a kid in there.
Just yeet a toddler with bouncy balls. Like, oh, well, you're getting in trouble, but man, if this isn't gonna go viral.
The games that you would also have often on display, like they never were really that good. Sometimes they like entice you to buy the game. Like a lot of times they have Pokemon on display, and Pokemon's just a generic kind of game. One game that was amazing though was with the DS. They always had WarioWare,
Yes.
or like
I
Wario
don't
in there.
remember that one.
And essentially, if for people who don't know, it's a game where essentially it's just lots of random stupid stuff. I don't know. It's like lots of weird, crazy mini games that are very intense and very fun. And honestly, they couldn't pick a better game for like a 5-second like try to get someone's attention for this console here, for this handheld, because that is the best like 5-second game you could ever play.
That game is super Japanese. I just remember this is not a great transition to that sentence to this one. But I remember at one of the mini games is I think you controlled a finger and you had to get it into a nose, and that was it. That was the whole thing. You had to take like 4 or 5 seconds just to line up the finger under the nostril, and that was it. And then I moved on to the next game. Yeah, this game was wild. It was weird.
I don't remember that at all.
There were a lot of really weird mini games in it, but
Because I remember there was a game that I played. I don't remember what it was called, but it was very, very similar to. It actually might have been Mario Party for the DS. I don't know if they ever released one for the DS, but the one that I remember playing was very similar. It's just a bunch of mini games, and you compete against each other. Sometimes you can play on teams. And I remember me and my 2 other brothers, we all had our own DSs at the time, and I got the copy, and I was like, oh my god, you can play multiplayer like on a local network. Like this would be so much fun to play with my brothers. So I begged my mom for weeks to go out and get 2 more copies, and she did finally do it. And we got to play all these games together. It was actually a lot of fun.
Mario Party DS was released in 2007.
Ah, see, there we go.
you
So
go.
it was Mario Party for the DS.
perfect. Yeah, that one had a point. That was a board game. You played mini games, hung out. WarioWare is just, hey, let's be weird a lot very quickly.
That sounds like Wario.
Yeah,
So.
that's touche.
Yeah, I remember Wario Land. I played that on Game Boy. My brother and I did, and that was so much fun. That was a great game.
Well, that was the side scroller with him, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Where you could just like shoulder charge through things,
That's
and throw
the
bombs
exact.
and all that.
That's the exact one.
Yeah, I remember that one. It was like, hey, here's Mario, but weird. So yeah, I think we've nailed Wario's aesthetic.
Yeah,
at this
it's
point.
basically Mario, but weird.
Couldn't he fart too? Am I crazy?
No, you're right.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it, but yeah.
The weird thing with Japan is that like our culture is so ingrained in Japan now. Like, because almost all the best video games that we remember from our childhood are from Japan.
Mhm.
True.
Like, I can't really think of any that aren't. I mean, introduced me to Pokemon, Dragon Warrior, or Dragon Quest. There's Mario, like Luigi, I guess you could say. But there's so many
Ouch.
different like characters from Japan, where I don't know. It's just the staples of video game characters. And, who's that guy? Cloud or like the Final Fantasy one?
Yeah.
Cloud.
Cloud with a giant sword.
Cloud. Those chocobos, or however you say that word.
Yeah, that was right.
Little chicken things.
Yeah, that was it.
Ooh, hey, nice, nice. But there's so many like Japan had such a weird influence over America just because it came up with a bunch of video games at like a prime time, like when we're young and kind of impressionable.
Very true. Yeah. I was thinking back to see if I could remember anything that I don't think came from Japan, and I think you're absolutely right. The early video game stuff, pretty much originated in Japan, and they brought it over to the U.S. That's pretty much how it all started.
Donkey Kong is another one. Link. Oh my God, I'm trying to come up with one that's not Samus Aran.
I love that.
Metroid.
Oh man, Metroid was great.
Yeah, I can't for the life of me.
I don't think that there was a prominent U.S. developer for not until like the much later on.
I know they made a lot of like point and click adventures. So like
Yeah, like the early computer games and stuff.
Dragon Quest, maybe? Is that the thing I'm thinking of?
like Adventures of Monkey Island, Grim Fandango,
I love those.
King's Quest.
Absolutely, like, hands down, the LucasArts games from back in the day, hands down my favorite games.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever involved. Like, you don't really see those in video game culture, though. Like, you do just from time to time about the Adventures of Sam and Max.
So
That one is the weirdest one for sure.
Atari was an American video game developer.
Well, shit, huh?
Man, look at us.
So how about that Pong?
Oh man,
Yep.
There you go.
such classics as Pong.
Yeah. My favorite.
tennis,
I'm
but
gonna get
less
a
of it.
Pong tattoo. It's 2 lines and a dot.
Should cost like $5, if that.
I'll get 1 line on this hand and 1 line on this hand, and the ball on my chest, and then
Just a huge, giant Pong ball on your chest.
Pong ball, which is just this dense black square. What the hell is that? It's a pong. It's a tennis ball.
well, that'll be nice because then I can play what's that game called, Arkanoid or whatever, Breakout, because I can just turn my hand this way and now it's going up and down instead of left and right.
Oh my god, I remember that game too.
That was a fun game.
That was, dude. I remember I had something like that for my phone.
Oh yeah,
I used to back
Oh,
when
yeah.
I had a scroll wheel on my phone.
Ooh, you fancy.
I know, I was the fanciest.
Wow. The guy, did you borrow it from your cousin?
No, it was actually my dad's.
It was his dad's cousin. Yeah, but that's even. Yeah, it's just. Do you own anything now?
Oh, so much stuff. None of it's useful.
Go ahead, Nate.
2 of the prime games that I used to play a lot was Snake,
Oh yeah,
which it's like it's a very dumb, simple game, but it gets addictive.
it's
like,
almost
I don't know. I
impossible
can still
to
play
beat.
it today. I mean, probably wouldn't be too entertained, but I keep playing
You
it.
say that.
And Tetris.
Oh yeah, there's world championships for Tetris.
Oh, I went down a rabbit hole with that. Like, you can go down a big rabbit hole. I think we had an episode about this meter, right?
We have, 200 and something episodes? Yeah, at some point we've talked about everything.
Right.
Right. But yeah, it's like they get way too into it. The announcer's like, boom, Tetris for Jeff, boom, Tetris for Jeff, boom, Tetris for Jeff. And then you go from that video into the World Darts Championship, and all the comments are, boom, Tetris for Jeff, because they're all stuck in the same loop that you are in. Like,
I really love the phrase "boom Tetris for Jeff," and I want it on a shirt.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh yeah.
Boom
That's-
Tetris for Jeff.
that might happen now.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make that happen.
You should. And have it so that way the Tetris line is blinking out.
Just have it
Got
like,
a Tetris.
yeah, I think didn't we just talk about Tetris 2 and you were saying it was boring?
It's so boring.
No, it's not. I
think
play it
it's
with my
boring.
mom all the time.
Only
It's
time
fun.
I ever played Tetris is when I was going to the bathroom. That was it.
You find Jeff, you look him in the eyes, and you tell him that Tetris is boring.
I feel
After
like Jeff
Boom,
dedicated too much life to Tetris.
he got the boom Tetris for Jeff though.
Several
He's
times.
done it.
It's
Yeah,
true.
that's fair. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
You need to be Jeff.
There was
go
like a
play Tetris.
puzzle. There was like a puzzle version on the PlayStation where there was a little guy who walked back and forth on the screen, and you had to try and get him to the bottom of the screen by either having him climb up things or clearing lines to get him down below. And my mom and I would play that in split screen and try and like race. And then we'd just play normal Tetris, where if you clear a line, the more lines you clear, the more you send to the other person.
The battle Tetris.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun in that.
Video games have gotten super competitive recently, and it's like when I was young, I always liked to believe I was good at video games. I really wasn't because I couldn't get past the first level of Batman. So there's that. And as I've gotten older, I still think I'm great at video games, but then it's like I go on like hard mode for most anything and just die a bunch, and it's like I can't do this. And I watch other people play, and they just like I don't know, they're just gods. Like I don't know how they do it and how they're so good, but it's like I don't want to admit I'm bad at them. I'm like I'm not bad. I can play them, but it's like I die a lot, and it pisses me off. Like why can't my ego be in check with how much good I am?
Yeah, I think everyone thought they were good at video games right up until the consoles went online. And then everyone, oh no.
Like, oh, that guy's really good.
He is better than me. Maybe he is right about my mom. Like it got weird. It got uncomfortable fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yup. As the
one
internet's
game I
want
did-
to do.
That's fair. Yeah.
The one game I did get kind of good at was Counter-Strike Source. Me and Meter used to play that a lot, and I got pretty good with that one. Like not like professional level or anything like that. No, not even close. Like sometimes people from I don't know if it's still around, but the Cal leagues, like the professional leagues, did come on the servers and did just kick my ass and everybody else's ass. But it's like a pub player, public player. I was pretty decent, usually towards the top of the server queues. But that's the one game I've really been good
Yeah,
at.
we used to play a ton of gun game. And
yeah.
you were on this one server that had a lot of people, and you were well known in that server. You were at the top of like the winning list. And weren't you banned from that place because one time you were on dentist medicine and you just like destroyed everybody?
Yeah. So
What?
So yeah, I got my appendix out.
Hold on. I need backstory here.
So to sum it up, he was high as hell roasting people. And got banned.
Destroying people. Like flick shot, like no scope sniping people.
Damn.
It was disgusting.
Says the same guy who just said moments ago, sometimes I need to get my ego in check with these games, subconsciously destroying people.
So under the right conditions, you are a god when it comes to games.
hmm So I had my appendix out, and I was pretty decent with Counter-Strike, especially gun game. That's kind of my jive. And I don't know what happened to me, but it's like it's kind of like time slowed down a bit. It was like
Bullet time.
what was it, Valium? Or it was
I think it was Oxycontin.
Oxycontin. Yeah, Oxycontin. So this was like pretty heavy strength. Like it definitely had a big effect on me. Like I definitely felt drugged. But it's like it's almost like you move your mouse and it's like the character moves their head and everything, and it's like, wait a second, I know what to do. I just aim at their
I just
head.
shoot him in
and
the
click.
head. And
And it was such a revelation to me. But it's like I could actually do it. Like I could actually watch myself move over to the head. It wasn't just kind of like like I feel very kind of skittish and kind of finicky when I play games. But this is like, oh, just over here, boom, headshot. Over here, boom, headshot. And I was drugged out. And I was amazing, and they banned me. I think the coolest thing.
they
Now,
banned you for
I didn't
hacking.
have
They had
an-
video proof you were hacking.
I just
He
like,
was his own aimbot.
I would have loved to, like, if this was the day of like face cam, just see him at the beginning of the game, just whoa. And then all of a sudden just Tetris for Jeff. Bam. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Just very just hazy, just click. It's like this guy has to be cheating.
That's too
The
funny.
craziest thing I did was so at the end of the gun game stuff. So you start like the highest, say gun, and then you go down to like the lower guns, and at the end you get the Glock, and the Glock has like 2 different modes. There's like the triple fire, like the burst fire, and you have just the single fire. And Meter, can you remember how many like burst fires you have? Is it 3 or is it 4?
I think there's 3 bullets in when you do a burst fire.
Yeah, and then you have like 9. Is it the clip of 12?
I think it's a 12 clip. Yep.
So essentially, essentially it's me versus everyone else, and there's like 6 people or something like that, and like I have what is it, like 7 bullets left or something like that. No, I have like 10 bullets left. No, 9 bullets, and it's like I end up somehow beating them all with like a single clip on burst fire, like headshot, and I headshotted 2 at the same time, and then I knife the guy and win, and that's when I got banned.
That was it right there.
That's it.
Wow.
Did it.
Got a collateral with the Glock on burst.
Ryan, do you remember when we played CSGO?
Played is a strong word,
So
Tyler.
we've played CSGO together one time.
Yeah.
Was it at PAX the
It
first
was,
year?
It was at PAX 2 years ago. We sat down and just kind of the PC
LAN area.
Yeah. And CSGO was on there. One of our buddies was like, hey, we should get a team together. We have 4 or 5 of us. We should get a team. We're like, all right, I've never played. Someone's going to tell me what the hell's happening. No one did.
I was in the same boat as you. I had no idea what I was
So we
doing.
load up. Someone's like, make sure to buy a good gun. I'm like, what does that mean? Bang, I'm dead. Turns out the team we were playing against was queuing up to practice for a tournament.
Yeah,
like-
it was there. They had competitions running, and this entire team was. They all went to PC LAN, and they were just running practice for the tournament. Was that day? Or
No,
something.
I don't think they were there. I think it was an online tournament. We just happened to stumble into a
Oh,
lobby.
really?
With them.
I thought they were there.
I don't think so. That's a
man.
lot of coordination. Like, why do
Yeah.
it there? You could just do it from home.
That's fair.
But yeah, we just got like I from there. I'm like, well, I don't want to play CS:GO anymore. I think I went 3 rounds. I didn't actually get to fire a shot.
I fired once, and I think I shot myself somehow because I died immediately.
Well, and CS:GO, I feel like.
Yeah. I know.
I want everyone to try and come up with a game that they've played that they remember and that no one else here is going to have played.
Got it.
It's tricky because we've talked about video games so much.
Bonus points if you can get one that no one else has ever even heard of.
Got it.
Okay?
Maybe. I'm
Challenge
hoping
accepted.
So. I'm hoping so.
All
Oh
right.
boy.
So go for it. You sound confident.
So, in the same time frame for me when I was playing the GameCube, I also had a Game Boy Advanced. And I remember I sunk an absurd amount of hours into Legend of Zelda: The Four Swords. 4 Swords or 4 Swordsmen? I forget. It's
Could be
a
multiplayer.
yeah. Oh, so you do know it?
Yeah,
You
I
think
told
that-
you.
You think that's
I've never
obscure?
played it.
It's a
All right.
Zelda game.
Right.
Well, I didn't know anybody else knew that one. That one was out there. To me,
You played the GameCube as your first console. I played the Atari
That's fair.
10 years after it came out.
That's
10 plus years
fair.
after it came out.
well, that was mine. Apparently, I failed.
I just love how confident you were, and it was like,
I didn't think
you're like,
anybody was gonna
got
know
it,
it."
got it.
See,
It's Mario.
I am less impressed with his confidence, more offended at his lack of faith in the rest of us.
I didn't think anybody knew that one.
The Zelda game. You
The,
know,
the like top 3 most biggest franchises
Yeah,
of
but
all
it was
time.
such an obscure
Zelda.
game. It was so out there. I didn't think anybody was going to get it.
it's like at the edge of this giant umbrella of Zelda.
It was way out on the edge, though. Like somebody had to hunt for that.
No, I mean, if you want to hunt, you're talking like Wanda Gamelon or something on the.
I don't know.
That-
I don't know what that is.
That was the Atari one, right? The one that was they just refused to acknowledge that was even a thing.
Yeah, it was released on the Philips CDI.
You know the one. What? Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that was where
Apparently.
you play as Zelda, not as Link.
Oh,
And like the pre-rendered animation scenes that were just real bad.
just
That's
the best.
That you got to hunt for.
'Cause, yeah, when the console is obscure, you know you're on the right track.
Yeah, fair. Nate, do you have you got anything for that?
So I will describe it here.
Okay.
So the game involves monsters.
Mhm.
So you are living on this giant tree, and the tree starts shaking and stuff, and you're like, "Oh shit, she is shaking." So then, where you go? You go into the tree and you start fighting monsters because the monsters are escaping. But here's the thing: you capture the monsters, and then you can breed them. And there's different seeds you get, and the seeds will actually increase your strength or intelligence and stuff like this. But you capture monsters, and then you breed them together. There's slimes. There are is it water brew, something like that, and it's a whole bunch of other ones there. But yeah, and it's one of those games where you beat the game and you're like, yes, I beat the game. But then there's this whole other like after game that happens. It's like you get into the Underdark, and then yeah, then it's all over. So that's the
Is
game.
that Monster
Any
Rancher?
guesses? No, not quite.
Monster
but
Rancher was awesome.
right thought.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Slime Rancher?
Nope.
Oh, I feel like this is a game we've heard of, but we just can't get it off the
Probably.
description.
Is it a Japanese game?
Yep.
I feel like I've heard it described pretty similar, but I don't remember what the name of it was.
Is it that Pokemon knockoff where you had like a cell phone and you had to call Pokemon in?
That's Digimon.
No, no, not Digimon was awesome.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So this game should have been more popular than it was because I'm the only one that played it, like being my brother. But we didn't hear anybody else at school talk about it. But it's a Dragon Warrior Monster.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
See, Ryan, that's how you do a deep cut of a popular game.
Listen, I'll think of a better one maybe.
Just think about all the games your cousin had.
You had all the popular ones though.
Oh, that's
Clearly.
fair.
This is the most obscure one he had. Was still pretty popular. I'm glad I was. So this is fairly obscure because I played it and I barely remembered it. It was I vaguely remember how to describe it. Even I'm looking at all the screenshots. It was a top-down shooter for the Genesis. Which probably eliminates Ryan ever playing it.
I didn't
off the
even
bat.
have a Genesis. growing
Soldiers
up.
of Fortune.
Really? That is fantastic. What now, Tyler?
How did I know it?
That was impressive, actually.
That's
Jesus.
great.
At least we can. I don't know what.
That game's awesome. I love that game.
I played it, so it's obscure to me because I
It
never
is.
even owned it. Because here's how obscure it was. I played it in an after-school program I was at that they just happened to have a Genesis running, and we were only allowed to play it sometimes because then they realized there was guns involved when they started paying attention. Holy cow! That game came out in '93. Why do I play? I was at earliest like 7 when I played this. So that would have been like, yeah, these at this point, they would have been like 5-6 years old. But yeah, it was Soldiers of Fortune. I remember playing that game, not being very good at it, getting very annoyed, or not getting annoyed, people getting annoyed at me, because I wasn't very good at it, and it was a whole co-op thing. It was, I don't remember much about it. I remember there was like the character select screen. Each character had different abilities, different weapons. It was fun. I vaguely remember it. But damn it, that was the most obscure one I had. Meter, I'm worried that you're gonna have like a game made by one guy who handed it to you, and that was it.
And that was the only copy ever made.
Well, I could do that, but Nate would get it. So, because he designed it.
Wait, did I guess a game before you even described it?
Well, no, I have a different one. I have it pulled up right here, but there was a game that Nate designed in high school that got banned because everybody was playing it instead of doing their work. Like they just love this fucking game so much.
Were they also on Oxys at the time? That seems to be a trend.
Yes.
So he was selling Oxys, but had the game with it.
Yes.
So, selling the game.
just one little nip of this game, and you're coming back.
First one's free.
So the game that I remember that most people don't remember. There are people who I know remember it. It had full motion video. It was a hybrid of like an action strategy video game. And it had Kirk Cameron in it. And Michael Gregory. It was released on the 3DO originally, but then it was ported over to the Sega Saturn and MS-DOS.
Night Trap.
No. So you play a servant boy who was raised by a herd of wild cows, and you have to go around and hold on. Let me read the plot from Wikipedia.
Are you just pulling up a Mad Libs and hoping we won't notice?
In a fortunate mishap, Chauncey, the servant boy who was raised by wild cows, prevents Winthrop the Good, king of Franz Powasgansky, from choking on his meal and was rewarded with a plot of land upon which he may build a self-sustaining town. However, the land is under constant attack. There are destructive, angry red monsters that come in, and it has elements of hack and slash. It has city building, real-time strategy. So this was like I loved this game so much, and I remember renting it, and I could never find it again. I didn't even know what it was before the internet. And then finally I figured it out on the internet when that came around, and I ended up going to my cousin's house and using his Sega Saturn, renting this game and just beating it in a night. I stayed up all night just trying to beat this game because I knew I would never see it again. Anyone know what game it is?
I don't know, somebody's fever dream? Like, I have no idea.
I have nothing for that.
You feeling okay?
I feel great.
Just have a stroke live on air?
Neverwinter Nights.
No. It's a game called The Horde. Released in 1997 on the Saturn.
Never would have gotten that.
Man, that was out there.
It's I love that. I want to play that game again. I'm gonna buy a Sega Saturn just so that I can buy that game, but it's probably gonna cost me like $700 to get everything I need for it. So
yeah, I imagine a Sega Saturn's probably going for a working Sega Saturn's probably going for quite a bit these days.
Yeah.
This cover is wild.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of like imps. One I think is a unicorn. There's a cow in great distress. One of the imps is a wizard, I think.
So you like build up your town while also having to defend, and you can go out and like hack and slash against these monsters, but you also have to like buy different things. You have to control the map from a top down at the same time that you're doing all of that. You can like call in airstrikes eventually. So it's kind of like tower defense and real-time strategy and hack and slash and city building all at the same time.
That actually looks cool, man. I would want to play that.
Highly, highly suggested. Great game, The Horde.
I just like the fact that it's like somebody went, okay, so you're a guy who was raised by a herd of wild cows. Like, great, what else? Man, I gave you so much right there. And then they just tossed it out to everyone else and hoped for the best.
And the other executives are like, I got it. We'll get Kirk Cameron.
Basically.
This will be perfect.
It was developed by Toys for Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Sure it was.
Wait,
I wonder if Bob ever got his toys.
they're the same people who made Pandemonium for the PlayStation.
Is it?
Huh. Really? Is that the game? Like, no one remembers that one?
No. What was Pandemonium?
Oh, that one.
You should have said Pandemonium.
I forgot about it. As how obscure it was, so maybe I should have. That one was just a platformer where you could play as one of two characters at any given level. One of them was like a jester. One of them was just this redhead chick. And I forget. Let's see. So you had. Oh, apparently the chick accidentally destroyed the town. Whoops.
That makes sense.
Yeah, magic's finicky. So yeah, she could double jump, and the jester could have a spin attack, and you had to kind of figure out which way you could get through stuff. It was weird. It was just strange. It was fun.
No, I've never played that one.
Damn
I've
it.
never even heard of that one.
That was a demo for a while too. Like that's what they would have at like Blockbuster and all that is running as a demo. Yeah, it was a weird one.
Anybody ever play Wild 9 on the PlayStation?
Yes,
That game was
That's a no for
awesome.
me.
where you had the beam where you could like smash people into the ground and all that.
Yeah,
Because that was how you had to kill people.
There were grinders, and you would have to like use the beam to. It was like a gravity gun to pick up the enemies and put them into the grinders. And if you did it with enough, like 3, then it would break the grinder, and then you could continue on. So like you had to fuck people up, and it was bloody and gory. A lot of fun. That was a really good game too.
Because if I remember right, so you had like a tractor beam sort of thing, and at a distance it would bring them certain ways away, and you could slam them on the ground, but you had to do it like 5 or 6 times before they actually died. Before that, they were just heavily concussed.
Yes. And there were platforming elements and all of that, but yeah,
Right.
Wild 9.
There was more aside from the violent murder.
You know. Chris Lesnar in chat says, "How about Base Wars for Sega?" Base Wars is a robot baseball game. If you went to steal a base, you could have a sword fight with the fielder to win the base.
What? That's
This needs to be in real baseball. Like
Baseball meets fencing.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome. No, I've never even heard of that.
I mean, admittedly, the the description sounds better than it looks. But wait, never mind. Someone's given a wheel kick to somebody's head, and when I say wheel kick, I mean their foot's a wheel. Like, all right, one of them just holding a gun to some guy's head. That seems a bit aggressive. All right, the baseball part looks. Boring,
Speaking of sounding better than you look, let's wrap the episode here. Thank you guys for coming on to our episode.
Appreciate it. Glad.
thanks for having us.
Glad to be here.
So tell me a brief bit about Who Wants Bananas. I typed it into Google. whowantsbananas.com. This is actually, I'm going to look at this live with you guys. This is actually a pretty slick website. Full videos, clips. You got the podcast. You got an About Us with your pictures.
We apologize for the picture.
Bios. Wow, this is hardcore.
The website.
Oh, you have a store.
There's some pretty sweet stuff in
Whoa,
there.
this snapback is awesome. It comes in okay, I'm buying one of these right now. Hold on.
Word.
Black and gray. I'm definitely. Oh, actually, I don't know. Maybe this blue one. That one's really nice too.
The blue is intense.
The blue was my personal favorite one.
Gonna just give you that.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the
intense.
blue one now.
It's as intense as it looks.
Hold on. Browse store. These are really cool. You guys have a lot of really good stuff on here. whowantsbananas.com. Definitely check that out because I'm gonna buy this live on air. Hold on. You guys tell me about your show.
So we prefer to engage in the shenanigans, if you will. We just try to pick things that are either going to be entertaining for people, entertaining for us, try to hit the middle ground. And we're just kind of existing in the podcast world, trying to find our niche and trying to be entertaining in the process. So you'll see us. We've done a month on video games, did a month on space travel, did a month on. Ryan, help me out here.
We've done a month on. Holy crap! What the heck did we just do? I don't even remember.
We just did board games.
Yeah, we just did the board game one, where it's a bunch of videos of us playing different board games.
A lot of fun.
Oh, okay. Give me an obscure board game that no one else has ever played but you.
Oh, geez.
Oh no, man. Greg would be great too.
Greg would be super good for this.
Was it? Hold on, I need to look up. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I know the one we played.
One
it.
that we played.
We played it at PAX. I don't know if you
At PAX?
I don't know if you came in at the tail end.
Oh, I know the one.
Um.
If you didn't know it existed, you're gonna be happy, and you're probably gonna want to play it.
Just a lot of happy little trees.
So many happy little trees.
Bob Ross, The Art of Chill.
Oh wow. I had no idea about
It's
that
actually pretty fun.
It's surprisingly, It sounds stupid and cheesy. It is a lot of fun. We didn't play that one on the
air.
show.
No.
Maybe we should line that up
I
at
would,
some point.
I would totally do that. The premise behind it was cool. You end up just painting one of his paintings.
one.
Yeah,
Oh.
in quotation marks.
Well, let's you don't actually paint anything.
Oh.
You yeah.
you have to collect colors, which are like these little playing cards, and then you need the right tool, and then the picture is painted.
That was a
Right.
rapid flip from the goal is to paint one of his paintings to you don't paint.
Well, you
I had
paint
to,
it without actually painting.
I had to nip that in the bud real quick before people get like, oh, you get to. There's a board game where you paint things. Nope. There's a
Not
paint-
quite.
Nate, would you play a Bob Ross board game?
Probably not.
Great.
You got to have some weird obscure board game that you played.
Monopoly?
Nailed it in one.
Monopoly?
What's what's that?
Do you have a specific Monopoly?
No, I'm trying to think of
Like the-
something. I mean, we played a lot of card games. We're more a card game family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Like Skipbo or something?
Yeah, Skippo was a big one. We played a lot of Boggle. It's like,
Okay, yeah. Boggle.
yeah, Boggle's a good one. My mom is like a crazy good at Boggle. Like she's comes up with every
That's a
words.
word game, right?
It is, yeah.
But a lot of word games. Apples to Apples, which is like the child version
Mhm.
of not child version, but it's like the PC friendly
Family friendly.
family version
PG version.
of Cards Against Humanity. So we played Yahtzee. Yahtzee was the big one that we played.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yahtzee's good.
We had a Pokemon board game that had like little like pog like things that you would put in and
What?
you'd roll on it. That one was a lot of fun. But I think the most obscure one I can think of is Uncle Wiggly.
Wait,
What?
should we put allegedly around any of this?
Type Uncle Wiggly board game and you'll see what I'm talking about. My grandmother had it.
No.
It's an
Sorry, FBI.
it's an old ass 1988 Milton Bradley game about a rabbit. It's just your classic, Candyland-esque type of thing where you just
That
go along the
looks
path and whatever.
Way better than what I pictured.
Oh yeah, what I pictured is not safe for the internet.
So
Okay.
that's
It's basically like Candyland.
that's my most obscure one. Is my 1988 Uncle Wiggly board game.
Don't you really just don't preface it that way ever again.
Man, I really want to talk about obscure video games more. We gotta make a whole episode. out
Oh
of
man.
Yeah,
You know, it's funny. I did end up finding a rebuttal for myself since I flopped super hard.
Let's.
that. Okay.
Is Mario in
Is it Soldiers of Fortune?
It is not Soldiers of Fortune.
That would be like, damn it is.
if you guys guess this one, then you win.
Okay.
I wanna win. Congratulations.
I'm ready.
Probably will.
So I'll try my best to describe it without giving it away because there's some pretty key features that you might be able to figure out the characters that are in it very quickly. So you play as a single soldier against an army of other soldiers, the opposing team, if you will, of rival color. And then you have to go through their bases, and your goal is to rescue your teammates that have been captured. So you go through armed with just a basic rifle. It's 2D, but it's not like a side scroller almost. So you scroll through. You have to get keys for different doors and such. And then eventually you go and you fight the commander of everybody, and you end up killing him, and you win. But it was super fun. And it is on the Game Boy Advanced.
I feel like it's about 65 different games.
No, it's just the one.
Navy SEALs.
No.
Because I had that game and that I still can't beat that game. It is so fucking hard.
I don't know if I know that game.
Yeah, well, maybe it's the same game. You just don't know it.
No, it's definitely not.
See, I feel like the tricky part is you have to be so you have to be so vague about it.
I do, kind of. If I tell you what the colors are, you'll probably be able to guess the name of the game. Whether you guys have played it or not, I don't know.
Is it like a Splinter Cell game?
No.
Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-mm.
Is it like a popular franchise?
Yeah, but not for games.
Oh,
Mission
Die
Impossible?
Hard.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I don't know. What you got?
It's Army Men for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, there you go.
Tan and green.
Very
That's fair.
cool.
To be
That was a lot of fun. I remember that game.
Yeah, I know. I never really got into the Army Men series, but I know they're really popular. I think. Oh, what was it? The Sarge one that was on the N64. Army Men.
I don't know if I know that one.
Sarge's Heroes.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Rumors. I thought there were rumors that they were going to make another one recently.
I mean, they could. I'd buy it.
All right.
Who wants bananas? Absolutely highly suggested. Thank you guys for coming on. This was a lot of fun. We're gonna have you guys back on because I think you guys really doing things right, and I definitely suggest your show.
We will. Yeah, we'll have to. We just ran a. We actually just put out. Conveniently enough, we just put out our console draft.
Yep.
Where
2020.
where we ran a 3-round 7-pick console draft, and we each built teams of our consoles. So we like the idea of the draft format. So
We're working some ideas over to see if we can continue that.
may revisit that if we do another one. We'll all gather together and debate things, because with more people it becomes
it
boy.
becomes way better.
I love it. Well, Who Wants Bananas? Anywhere you pick up your podcast and listen, highly, highly suggested. Nate, do you know Who Wants Bananas?
Well, sometimes I want bananas. I actually just bought some today, to be honest. So I wanted them. Now I have them. So
Do you have to wait for them to get ripe, though?
not these ones, thankfully. But
Ooh.
there is that Mitch Hedberg joke about like freezing bananas and eating them later. It's a pretty good joke.
Well, how's that one go, Nate?
I don't know, something about like a frozen banana, and you make a smoothie out of it, and then you puree it. Then
It's like I'm there.
sometimes you boil it.
Nate, we need to talk.